Today we have a Dell Inspiron 5000 series. This is a 5368. These procedures will work on any of these series of laptops, including the Inspiron 7000 series. They're pretty similar. First, we're simply going to shut it, turn it over, put the vents away from us. Then we're going to remove all the screws around the outside of the back. We're going to take all these screws out, loosen them up. You can dump them out. To remove the cover, simply put your fingers between the vents on the back and pop it loose. It does have fasteners on the front, so you want to pull it up and then away from the back. Put the lid aside. An important thing is to disconnect the battery first. We don't really need to remove it. If you do need to remove it, there are 4 screws on the corners. You can simply take those out. We're just going to unplug the battery right here. Once you've got it unplugged, you cannot actually generally turn it on. Some other things to note: we're going to replace the laptop screen today, but if you need to upgrade the hard drive to a solid state drive, you can. You just simply remove these screws. There's one there, 2, and a third one on the left. Now we just lift it up, pull the cable off, and set it aside. We can easily remove this shielding from this hard drive, put it onto a solid state, put the 4 screws back in the shield, put it back in here. Note the orientation of the connector. Power on the left, control on the right. Put it back in with the 3 screws, plug it into this cable, and we've changed it out. To add RAM or upgrade, the RAM's located over here. It has pictures of exactly how to install it. You notice we have one in here. We can easily add another one. To add or remove, you simply pop these little clips on the side. The RAM comes up. It comes out. It goes in at the same angle and then snaps in. You can see the connectors. To remove the display assembly, we're simply going to unplug it and then remove the screws. There's a hinge screw here, hinge screw here. This is not a hinge screw, this is for the case. On this side we have a hinge screw here and here. This is not a hinge screw, that is also for the case. At first we're going to need to take out the Wi-Fi battery, since the Wi-Fi antenna goes up into the screen. This is the Wi-Fi adapter. We just remove that screw. Note there's 2 antenna wires. They are marked black arrow, white arrow. These just pop loose. You can just take the card out and pop it loose from that. Over here we have 2 more cables. Display adapter cable. We're simply going to remove the display cables. There's some tape here that you have to pull up. And then there's a release lever at the back that flips up. You can see that release lever. Once that release lever comes up, then the cable comes right out of there. Second one over here. The second cable also has tape covering it. So we have to get the tape up first, out of the way. Then there's a black clip, which we flip up. Just take your little screwdriver. And we flip that little tab up. You can see that right there flips up. Then we can remove the cable. Pops right out. Now we're going to remove these hinge screws here. And here. And you can see the metal hinges. Go to the other side. Hinge screws out. You pop the Wi-Fi adapter loose from its cables. To put these back on, it's simply a round connector, and it pops over it. You can see the end of the connector, it's just round, it has a little pin in the middle, and it goes over the top of the connectors on the Wi-Fi card. Again, they are marked black and white with little arrows. Again, notice I've got the screws separated. I'll keep the case screws in one pile. I keep the hinge screws here. Got the screw with the hole down for the Wi-Fi adapter. And screws for the hard drive. When you put these back in, it also goes at an angle just like the RAM. It's notched, so it can only go in one way. You push it in at an angle, and then you push it down, secure it with the screw, and put the wires on. Now we're simply going to flip the laptop over. And remove the lid from the laptop. To reassemble, we just reverse the process. I would recommend putting a cloth between the two so you don't scratch the screen. The easiest way to put these hinges back on is to hold it with the screen flat. Now I can put the screws into the hinges, and they go here and also over here. And on this side they go there and there. The outside ones are for the case screws. Once you secure these hinges back on, you can fold the laptop shut and it will bend the hinges correctly. You can see I've placed the hinge screws back in. Make sure you use this size screwdriver so you don't strip them out. The screw goes there and there, and you make them very tight so the hinge isn't loose. You don't want to strip them. There and there, not out here. This is for the case. We're going to put the Wi-Fi adapter back in. Goes into the slot all the way. Then it goes down. It's easiest if you have someone else hold this down. You can't put the connector on yet as it covers the screws. And then we're going to reconnect the antenna wires. Again, they're simply round over a round post. And they just pop on. Once you've popped them back on, you can secure the card. You go over to the wire connectors. You can see that this brass one slides right in. Then we put the tape back down. If the tape is not sticky anymore, you can just simply use a piece of tape. The black one goes into the connector with the hold down up. So make sure this little black piece is flipped up. Much easier to do with two hands and not holding a camera. Put the connector in, then clip the black piece down. Same way on this one, once you've put it in, you want to flip that wire back down to secure it. Don't forget to reconnect your battery. That just plugs in. Just like that. And put your RAM in before, if you're going to do an upgrade.